everyone, welcome to our video. For today's discussion, we'll talk about nonverbal communication. But first, let us to introduce ourselves. My name is Afita Sandini with official number A1 M22408.
And my name is Merlin with official number A1 M22400 and the second presenter.
Okay, first, what is communication? Communication is the process of sending and receiving message between people. It allows news that share ideas, feelings, and information, both through words or verbal communication, and action or expression is or nonverbal communication. So guys, nonverbal communication is the way we send message without using words. It involves body language, gesture, face expression, tone of voice, posture, touch, eye contact, etc. So, why nonverbal communication matters? Nonverbal communication plays a crucial role in our interaction. It complements verbal message, conveys emotions effectively, and reflects culture norms. Understanding these signals can enhance impersonal relationship and improve overall communication skill. Observe tasks choose consciously to content better. Okay, next, the type of nonverbal communication. First is paralinguistic, language of flowers, colors, chronemic, proxemic, haptic, and etc. First is understanding paralinguistic. What is paralinguistic? So paralinguistic involves tone, pitch, and volume in communication. Changes in these elements can completely alter the message, meaning and emotion conveyed. Paralinguistic refers to the manner of how something is said or delivered rather than what is said. Paralinguistic puts emphasis on the role of tone and volume of the speaker's voice in the passing of his speech. For example, the expression "I love you" is considered sweet and romantic. However, if the manner in which it is delivered makes use of any angry tone or loud volume, chances are that the listener might get confused and misinterpret the message, which in the run leads to miscommunication. Therefore, it is important to know that polyness plays importance on the manner of how speaker delivers message. With this in mind, the speaker needs to make sure that his manner of delivering a message is in accordance with the context of this message in order to avoid mis- miscommunication. The second is language of flowers, unspoken message. The language of flowers refers to the use of flowers to send a message to other people. It is important to know that using flowers as a means of sending a message is very much influenced by gender and cultural factors. When giving flowers, we need to remember that different kind of flowers have different kind of meanings. For example, sending tulps would mean a declaration of love. Sending lilacs will mean that you are expressing a love that is connected or pure. We have to also remember that the signs different kind of flowers have different kind of meanings. A first book is different from a flower's wreath. Even though both are example of flower arrangements, they are used differently in different cuisines. Thus, it is necessary to also consider the context or situation. to avoid sending the wrong message or getting misinterpreted by other people. Next, colors influence our emotion in perception. Color are very symbolic as they have certain meanings based on the influence of gender as well as culture and traditional. People use color as a mean of expressing their emotions or ideas. They send a message with the colors that they use. In psychology, certain colors are associated with a different kind of emotion or mood. For example, bright colors are often associated with positive, whereas red means message or age, while blue is usually associated with calmness or loneliness. In the Philippines, the color of the flag also have different meanings. Blue would mean just tyke and peach. Red would mean passion and patriots. And white symbolizes purity and hope. 4. The language of punctuality. Time or chronomics plays a crucial role in shaping our interaction. Punctuality can signal respect, urgency, or paucity in communication. Understanding culture variance in time perception helps improve relationship and ensure messages are conveyed effectively. Observing how others use time can enhance our communication skill. The language of time, also known as chromic, we have to remember that time is considered fluid, differently according to certain culture. How people use their time reflects the person's character, pro- professionalism, and sincerity, and etc. For example, when coming to school or work, those people who come early or on time are usually favored by others compared to those who are consistently tardy. We have to remember that in any kind of situation, culture, or context, being aware of the time is necessary, necessary as this a subtle way of sending a message about who you are as a person, is influencing the impression that other people might have on you. Next, understanding personal speech. Proxemics explore how personal space affects communication. Different cultures have varying norms regarding how close individual can be when interaction. Proxemics is a form of nonverbal communication which deals with the use of speech to convey a message. In proxemics, the distance between people is influenced by their attitudes and behavior towards each other. This means that the more comfortable you are with the person, the closest is the distance between you two. You could usually see this between close friends or family members. On the other hand, when people have negative attitudes towards other people, they tend to be distant. Of course, if you are not comfortable with the other person, you will want to observe as much distance from him or her to avoid having a physical context that might trigger further conflict.
Okay, I will continue the material. The power of physical contact. The language of touch is one of the most powerful types of nonverbal communication. What separates haptic from other forms of nonverbal communication is the existence and physical contact between the sender and the receiver. Action like hugging other people or shaking hands establish firm connection between the two people involved. However, we have to be aware that certain places or countries have restrictions when it comes to physical contact or physical touch. This may be due to the influence of gender of culture. Regardless, it is necessary for us to be aware so as to avoid miscommunication. With this in mind, much like other forms of nonverbal communication, it is important to be familiar with the context and cultural influences of the people that we are interacting with. Okay, next, gesture, the language of hands. Gesture play a crucial role in communication as they express understanding and emphasize emotion. Different culture might interpret gesture uniquely. Gestures are used to emphasize, regulate, illustrate, or symbolize a concept or idea. We have to note that the gestures themselves are already sending message to the people who will see them. Gesture like thumbs up, the more recent and trending meme here, and the peace sign are some of the most common examples. Thus, we have to be responsible with regard to the kind of gestures that we are using avoid being disrespectful to other people. Now, at this point, let's answer this question. What we are the different kinds of gestures. Okay, depending of the situation and the communication context, certain gesture may be classified as either emphasizing, regulating, illustrating, or problems. Okay, emphasizing gesture are used to place emphasis on key points. Using this gesture makes the speech more interesting and understandable. Regulating gestures are used to control or certain situation or moderate the flow of the communication between people. We usually see this when those in command or in authority would give instruction or direction to other people regarding what needs to be done. Illustrating gestures are used to show size, height, distance, or similar qualities that express measurement. Illustrating gestures are usually used when we want to describe something to make a particular idea or concept clearer from the perspective of the listener, while emblems are gestures associated with certain meanings influenced by culture, politics, and society. Emblems are considered to be symbols or symbolism that reflects the principles or beliefs of particular person or certain groups of people. Okay, the next common gesture. Thumb, thumbs up is a gesture or symbol made is raising the thumb up upward. This gesture is commonly used to show approval, support, or appreciation for something. In communication, especially nonverbal communication, a thumb up is a positive sign that usually means the first, good job. The second is I agree. The third is great. And the last is okay. Waving is a common nonverbal gesture done by raising your hand and moving it from side to side. This gesture is used to greet people or say goodbye and sometimes to go someone attention. For example, say hello, say goodbye, show recognition, you see someone you know, and last attract attention, call me someone politely from a distance. Okay, the next is the peace sign is a hand gesture made by raising the index finger and middle finger to form a V shape. And is commonly used to express peace, victory, and friend lines. This gesture is a part of nonverbal communication and it can deliver positive message without using words. The next is pointing is nonverbal gesture done by extending a finger, usually the index finger, to indicate a person, object, direction, or place. It used to give intention or identify something without speaking. In simple words, pointing, showing on direction using your finger. Next. Okay, the next is understanding facial expression. The first is universal emotional indicators. Facial expression are powerful signals that communicate emotion, transcending language barriers and offering insight into how we feel without speaking. The second is basic emotion defined. Common expressions like happiness, sadness, and anger are universal recognized, allowing you to connect with others through shared emotional experience. And the last is cultural context matters. Although many facial expressions are similar worldwide, cultural differences can influence interpretation, making context essential for understanding emotional cues accurately. Okay, next, basic emotional illustration. The first is happiness. Happiness is expressed through smiles and laughter. The second is sadness. Sadness is shown with frown and tears. The third is anger. Anger is evident in clenched fists and skulls. And the last is surprise. Surprise is recognized by wide eyes to gaps. So, the next is projecting confidence through posture and appearance. Okay, what is posture? Posture refers to how we hold our bodies, reflecting confidence or discomfort or various social situations. Positive versus negative posture. Positive posture, like standing tall, convey happiness, while negative posture, such as slouching, might signal insecurity or discomfort. Positive versus negative postures. Impact on communication. The way we present ourselves through posture significantly affects first impression and overall interpersonal communication, shaping how others perceive use impact on communication. Okay, the next is positive versus negative postures. The first is upright posture, shows confidence and openness. The second is open arms invite communication and connection. The third is solution. Solution posture indicates discomfort for dissenters. And the last is crossed arms. Crossed arms can signal defensiveness or weird travel. Okay, the visual impact of appearance. The first is importance of first impression. Our appearance creates immediate impression about our personality and professionalism, influencing how others perceive and interact with us in social situations. The second is clothing choice matter. Different outfits convey this distinct message. For instance, business attire suggests professionalism, while casual wear can indicate relaxation or creativity or in personality clothing choice matter. And the last is grooming and style. Well-groomed individuals often project confidence and attention to detail, making them more approachable, and positively influencing social interaction. Okay, appearance matters. The first is uniforms. Uniforms convey authority and professionalism clearly. The second is professional attire. Smart clothing influences perception and first impression. The third is casual dress. Casual dress promotes comfort and approachability in interaction. And the last is accessories. Accessories express personality and creativity effectively. Okay, guys, the conclusion of nonverbal communication is not only carried out through words but also through various forms of nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication function to reinforce, replace, or support verbal message so that they become clearly and easier to understand. Forms of nonverbal communication include paralinguistic, tone of voice, flowers, colors, time or chronemic, space or proxemics, touch or haptic, gesture, facial expression, posture, and appearance. Each form of nonverbal communication has its own function and meaning, and its use is strongly influenced by context, culture, situation, and interpersonal relationship. For example, tone of voice determines the meaning of a statement. Colors can reflect emotion or cultural identity. Physical distance indicates closeness and relationship, and facial expression help shows sincerity and emotion of the speakers. By understanding various forms of nonverbal communication, a person can avoid misunderstandings, strengthen message, and became a more effective communicator. Awareness of context and cultural norms is also very important in conveying nonverbal message appropriately. Overall, nonverbal communication is an essential element in human interaction, and mastery of its form helps enhance clarity, effectiveness, and success in communication across various situations.
That's all from us. Thank you for watching.